You've heard it a million times, right? That classic piece of advice: never chase women. Let them come to you. It sounds simple enough, doesn't it? Almost like a rule to follow if you want to be that cool, detached guy. But here's the truth most men won't admit. That advice is a trap. Let me break it down for you. When you take that advice to heart and just sit back, waiting for her to make the first move, you're setting yourself up for a dead end. You get stuck in a place where nothing happens. You start waiting, hoping, praying that she'll somehow notice you, come around, and chase you herself. But here's the cold, hard reality. It's not going to happen. Women don't chase men, at least not unless you know the hidden secret that so many men miss. And trust me, it's not what you think it is. It's not about waiting passively for something magical to happen. There's a much deeper layer to this than just sitting around and hoping. What you need isn't to be a chaser. What you need is the hunter's mindset. A man who chases is desperate, always scrambling for attention, always trying to make an impression. But a man who hunts, he's in control. He sets the pace. He chooses when to move, when to wait, and when to make his move. A few months ago, I met a friend from my old school days named Carlos. This guy had it all. Successful? Absolutely. He had the career, the lifestyle, everything. Charming? Well, he had the charm, but it wasn't just that. There was something about him that made people gravitate toward him. Women, in particular, and not just one or two, but a constant stream of women, all vying for his attention. His phone? It was always buzzing. Calls, texts, invites, you name it. It was like he was always in demand, and here I was watching all of this unfold, thinking to myself, this guy must know something I don't. I couldn't figure it out at first. What was he doing differently that had these women so hooked, so eager to chase after him? It wasn't just his looks. It wasn't just his charm. There was a deeper secret at play here, something I had yet to understand. But when I spent more time around Carlos, something shocking hit me. The way those women were fawning over him, constantly texting, calling, and throwing themselves at him, it wasn't what I thought. Those women, they didn't love him. They didn't even love him at all. They loved his bank account. They were chasing his money, not his soul. It wasn't a connection based on who he was as a person. It was all about the shiny appeal of money, logical pursuit, not emotional. At first, I couldn't believe it, but the more I watched, the more I realized that the women weren't interested in the man, and just the things that came with him. The luxury, the power, the lifestyle. And that's when it hit me. If you're relying on money, status, or any other shallow reason to make a woman chase you, you're already playing a losing game. Sure, you might get attention. Sure, you might even get some temporary affection, but that's all it is. Temporary. Relationships built on that kind of foundation are built on quicksand. They're unstable. And eventually, they'll collapse. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you need to be broke or lack ambition to play this game. Far from it. Yeah, but if you think that money and status are the keys to making a woman fall for you, you're missing the bigger picture. What you really need, what's going to make her chase you for real, is emotional pursuit. You need to spark something deeper than just attraction to what you can provide for her. You need to make her chase you emotionally, to connect with you on a level that goes beyond material things. And here's the kicker. You can't make her chase you emotionally unless you're already hunting her. It's all about setting the stage, playing your part, and drawing her in with something much more powerful than just what you have to offer. So, let me break it down for you, step by step. Imagine this. You meet a woman, and everything's going well. There's chemistry, there's attraction, but here's where most guys go wrong. Instead of texting her nonstop, showering her with attention, and constantly waiting for her to give you a fraction of her time, you do the exact opposite. You take control of the situation. You don't beg for her attention, you demand it. You shift the dynamic from one of neediness to one of power. Think about it. You don't ask her, when are you free? Because that's desperation talking. That's you hoping she'll make time for you, and trust me, that never works. Instead, you say, tell me which days you're free this week. I want to take you somewhere amazing. That's not asking, that's asserting yourself. That's setting the stage where you're the one in control, and not her. That's how the hunter works. You set the terms, and she gets to choose whether or not to join you in the hunt. But here's the thing. The most powerful weapon in the hunter's arsenal isn't your charm, your looks, or your words. It's scarcity. When you contact her, you don't do it every single day like some love-struck puppy. No. You contact her only once a week, maybe twice, but never more. Yeah, you heard that right. Once. Not more, not less. It's the perfect amount of contact to keep her intrigued and wanting more. You don't bombard her with messages or act like you're always available. You want her to wonder when the next time you'll reach out will be. When you do, it's something she's looking forward to. You want to create that space, that longing, that pull. Scarcity is what makes her want to fill the void, to chase after you. You're not some constant presence in her life. You're a rare gem, and she needs to earn the privilege of your time. You might be thinking, if I don't text her every day, she'll forget about me. That's where most guys get it wrong. In reality, by not texting her every single day, you're not pushing her away. You're creating curiosity. You're making her wonder what's going on, why you're not reaching out like everyone else does. See, when you text her every day, she gets used to it. It becomes the norm. She starts expecting it. Your texts become predictable, routine, and before long, she takes it for granted. But when you suddenly stop, when you disappear from her inbox for a while, something interesting happens. She starts thinking, what's he doing? Why hasn't he messaged me? Is he losing interest? Or is he just busy? You've created a gap in her daily expectations. And that gap, it creates mystery. And mystery, my friend, is one of the most powerful forces in attraction. Here's how it plays out in real life. Let's say you meet her on a Saturday, you have a good time, maybe share a laugh or two. It's all fun and lighthearted. But then instead of texting her the next day like every other guy, you wait. You wait until the following Saturday. And you don't just message her randomly or casually. When you finally do reach out, it's strategic. You don't just send a, hey, how's your weekend? You send something that'll make her stop in her tracks. Something intriguing, something unexpected, like boom. Just like that, you've taken control of the situation. You're not asking her if she wants to go because that's weak. You've already planned it. You've already chosen the time, the place, the experience. You've assumed she'll want to be there. You're leading the way. You're not waiting around for her approval, and that's powerful. That's confidence, my friend. That's the hunter's mindset at work. Now, here's the reality check. She's going to test you. It's inevitable. Women consciously or subconsciously will test a man's resolve. She might cancel on you. She might claim she's busy or even give you an excuse that sounds legitimate. Most guys, they fold under the pressure. They beg her to reschedule. They start apologizing, pleading for attention. They lose their cool, thinking they're going to lose her. But you're not most guys. The hunter doesn't beg. The hunter doesn't chase. The hunter maintains his composure, stands firm, and remains unaffected. When she pulls that card, you simply say, no problem. Maybe another time. And that's it. You don't dwell on it. No second chances, no pleading, no alternative plans. You don't go back and forth trying to rearrange your schedule to fit hers. You don't get needy or desperate. You've got your own life, your own agenda, and your own plans. And that's what drives women crazy. They're not used to men who aren't constantly chasing after them. They're not used to men who don't crumble the moment they say no. That's the kind of man who commands respect. And that's the kind of man who makes her want to chase you. And once she knows she has your emotional attention, controlling the distance between you becomes a game changer. But here's the catch. This only works when she's already emotionally invested. If you pull back too soon before the connection is strong, she might feel like you're not interested, and she'll move on for good. The secret lies in the timing, knowing exactly when to pull away. And when the date is going perfectly, and when the chemistry between you two is undeniable and the connection feels like it's about to explode. That's when you do something most guys would never think of. You walk away, you leave. Don't stay until the spark dies out. Don't linger, stretching out those moments until the magic starts to fade. Instead, you leave when she's at her emotional peak, when she's feeling the most alive in your presence. That's when she'll be thinking about you nonstop, replaying every word, every touch, every moment in her head. You become the highlight of her memory, something she can't stop reflecting on. The power of leaving at the right moment is unmatched. You don't need to be there to drag out the good time. You don't need to stretch it past the point of interest. You walk away when it's still fresh, when she's craving more. That's when she starts to wonder, why did he leave? Why wasn't he there longer? I want more of him. And that desire, that curiosity will keep her hooked. When you master this, when you learn how to create emotional addiction instead of just physical attraction, you completely shift the dynamic. You stop chasing. You stop trying to force your way into her thoughts. You don't beg for her attention. Instead, you make her chase you. You become the one she can't stop thinking about. And trust me, when she starts chasing you, that's when you've won. Because guess what? She won't just be attracted to you, she'll be hooked. When you understand this, you'll realize something incredible. You are the prize. You've always been the prize, but now you've learned how to make her see it too. Most settle for shallow advice and keep failing. But you're here for the truth. So if this message is opening your eyes, subscribe to the channel because what's coming next is even deeper. And I only want to share it with men who are truly committed to their transformation. So stop chasing and start hunting. If you truly want to be the man women compete for, take the hunter's approach. Take control of the game. Don't wait for her to make the first move. You set the pace and you choose the rules. Play your cards right, keep the mystery alive, and control the game from start to finish. Do that and you'll win it every single time. Single,